Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Happy Monday. I'm happy to have you here with me. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do that so you can join me every Monday and on Thursdays with new content. Also, make sure you check me out on Instagram and also in my Facebook group, which is called Off-Road Hub. All right, so on to the business of the day. So last time I got these tires on the vehicle. They are fully attached and they look amazing. They look totally awesome. But today I've got to deal with the harsh reality of making these tires actually fit the rest of the vehicle. Now the back, I'm not too worried about. And that might be false confidence and it might be a disaster. But I don't think it will be. I think these are going to fit back here just fine. I don't think they're going to interfere with much at all. Biggest risk, I think, is maybe with the coilover and the tire clearing that. But I really don't think it's going to be a problem. But up front, oh boy, we are going to have some issues. I am quite certain. So right now the tire is at ride height and I've got about this much space between the tire and my front tube bumper, and you've got this right here, and it might not hit if I never turned the wheel, but as you can imagine, I'm going to turn these wheels, and when I do and the wheel goes up, it is definitely going to probably come in contact with some of this up here on both sides. And I've got fenders that are supposed to go on here. Maybe a little straighter than that. But, and this is my old dented up one. I've got new ones. But, yeah, I've got fenders that are supposed to go on here. And so that could create more complication. Probably take some more trimming up here in the corner. So to find my trouble spots, I'm going to have to start flexing the axle again with the wheels turned in different directions and just see where the wheels come up and hit. In order to do full droop, I'm going to have to take one wheel off so I can drop one side completely down while the other side goes completely up. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. So now I've got the tires at full bump, straight ahead, and no problems yet. But you can clearly see that once I turn the wheels, I'm probably going to start having issues. All right, so this is full bump, turned all the way to the passenger side, still with the axle straight. But you can see I've got some issues here. Already, I'm actually almost hitting my bumper here. I'm not hitting anything too hard, mostly just this sheet metal up in here. And then I know these links are kind of a concern on the opposite side, but my tire's not hitting that. That's on the passenger side. So yeah, not too bad. I'll turn the wheels all the way the other way. I kind of expect the same result. As expected, it looks about the same on this side. Just barely touching the bumper here and touching the sheet metal down here. But again, no contact with the link on the driver's side. All right, guys, well, Jesse's back. Garage door's open. So, so Jesse's here. I found the real problem here. So, I've got the wheel off on this side, and so that side can fully droop. And then this wheel is turned all the way in, and I've got about 2 more inches of up travel to go, and it's going to hit here and on the bumper and over there on that sheet metal even harder. It wasn't going to hit this metal before, but it definitely is now. And so I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to have to take off about 3 inches of this metal right here, cut this out, and then just keep going down here. And of course, like before, I made this line here where I'm gonna have to probably cut the bumper, just cut this whole corner off the bumper, and then add another brace that goes right there. Now I've got my Expedition 1 washer tank right here, but I don't think it goes all the way to the bottom down there. So we'll see what happens with that. But yep, definitely gonna have to cut a few inches off of there, and I expect a similar result on the other side. Let's go find out. All right, guys, well, as I suspected, and as you probably suspected, this side has a lot of interference as well. I think basically I'm just gonna lop off 3 inches up and either 5.5 or so inches in. I've got about, at least a couple more inches of up travel here, so I've got to account for that. All the sheet metal here's got to go, and then I'm gonna cut my bumper here and down here, and then just make a new piece to go between that section. I'll just do the same thing on both sides, and I think it'll be good after that. Of course, I'll fill all this back in with sheet metal. I've got a lot of other sheet metal work to do on the back of the FJ, as you may recall, so this is just a little tiny project. Now, Jesse had a great idea. He made the point that if I just installed smaller tires, I wouldn't have to cut any of this off. So, you know, I'll consider that. All right, so I think I've got both sides cleared out. I had to remove my Expedition 1 washer bottle, but that's okay because I'm probably gonna have to put my new steering reservoir and stuff here anyways, which is bigger than this stock one. There's like a little auxiliary battery tray down here that is on top of this metal, but I got all my wires cleared out on this side, and then over here, same thing. There's a few more wires, but it's kind of probably hard to see, but it's all cleared out down there, trust me. And this is actually one of the reasons I kind of knew that this was going to happen. And so when I moved the oil filter here and I pushed the battery over there to the back corner, I kind of knew that the battery was going to be in the way here. So the oil filter hardly takes up any space. And so that's kind of one of the reasons I'm moving the battery, other than that I placed the oil filter there. Let's get cutting. All right, so I got some trimming done here. Lopped off the bumper, chopped that out of there. So now we'll put the tire back on here and see if that clears. Well, at least I made it up to full bump this time and almost cleared. Looks like I'm gonna have to take a little bit more off of here just for comfort. And then I was really trying to avoid cutting off this tab because that's one of the mounting points for the front fender. So I'm gonna have to figure out something there. Just shave a little bit more off just to be sure, but we came really close. There we go. All right, so here's what I had to chop out on this side. Just this kind of corner piece. So I've got a little bit of a hole here now. Fortunately, I have some sheet metal, and I'll make a new inner fender here, and it'll be good as new. Custom. So basically the same thing I'm gonna have to do on this side. Cut this off, and then underneath, and then I'm gonna have to cut this corner of the bumper off. I'm of course gonna lose my Metaltech label right here. So Metaltech, if you want to be a sponsor, let me know, and I'd be happy to reattach this somewhere else on the bumper. You just tell me what to do. All right, so here's what we got on the first try here. Not quite. I got to cut a little bit more. Still contacting. This is fully turned and fully stuffed, so at least we can do that now. But I definitely have some contact here still. All right, so I've been doing some shaving here, and I think I finally got it to where it's gonna work out. No rubbing. And that's turned in all the way and stuffed up there all the way. So it might rub a tiny bit if I'm like in the middle of an obstacle or something, but you know, I can survive with just a tiny bit of touching in a worst case scenario. But that's about all I can cut off anyway, because the body mount's right there. It's like a different type of body mount shop. And I've got a pretty sizable hole to fill in there. So here is my pile of sheet metal that I've cut out of here so far. And now I've got to make all new stuff out of this. This is 18 gauge steel, which I guess is fairly thick for body panels, but that's okay, it'll just be extra heavy duty. Now I have absolutely zero experience making body panels out of sheet metal. So for all of you experts out there at making body panels, try to forgive me for what you're about to witness. Alright, so I'm working on the driver's side right now, and I've got a piece of my 18 gauge steel here bent and some hammering done on it, and I think it's going to work out pretty well. So I'll do a little bit more cleaning up with this paint and these edges in here, and then I'll get it tacked up in here, put the tire back on, and make sure it still clears with the sheet metal in there. So in my initial attempt here, I put way too much slope on this. It needs to go more straight across, because now the tire is hitting the part that comes down. So I'll just beat this metal some more and try again. Alright guys, well, I'm here to tell you right now that sheet metal is kind of a pain in the butt to work with. After fiddling around now for quite a while, I've got total clearance on my tire here, turned all the way in and stuffed all the way up without any rubbing, so that's good. So my final result isn't the most beautiful sheet metal work, as you probably can guess, but I think it'll work. Well, I'm 99% sure it'll work. So here it is, right here. It's all blocked off pretty well. Not too bad, not too shabby for my first attempt. It'll keep the big rocks out, I think. By the time I'm done with this project, I'll probably just start to be not terrible at sheet metal work, because as you may recall, I have more sheet metal to do inside on the floor and in the back, of course. But right now, I'm gonna work on this other side and see if I can get a piece of steel in there. I'm using my cardboard dated design again for the other side. Seems to work pretty well. So here is my primary piece for the passenger side, and I have a lot of hope that this is going to work the first time around. It's going to go in here just about like that or so. Alright guys, I finally got the passenger side pretty much done. I'll probably come and make it a little bit better over time, but there it is. That'll block mud and stuff. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, but it'll get the job done, and it's the best that I can do. So there you have it. And the tire still clears, so we're good to go. Alright guys, well, I'm pretty happy with how the front turned out. My body work, I'll keep kind of revisiting that and improving that a little bit, but it's good. I like it. My bumper got chopped quite a bit. It's getting dark outside, as you can see.
so the lighting is even worse than normal. But I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with the bumper. I might just cap this off. I might try to reconnect it down here somehow. Tell me in the comments what you think I should do with that. Obviously, the easiest thing to do would just be capping it off, and yeah, that'd be fine. But so there's the driver's side, and then I kind of wanted to get to the back today, but you know, everything takes longer than it's supposed to, and it's getting late, as you can see. But I've got the back flexed out here. This side is fully drooped down, and then the other side is all the way up, and all the clearances on everything in the back here still look good. Coiler was good, link is good over here, and then my link over here on the gas tank is fine. That can be an issue on these FJ Cruisers. So I didn't anticipate too much trouble in the back, and I still don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. But if I spin the tire here, you can hear it's got some rubbing on the fender right here, which isn't a big deal because, you know, I've got no problems cutting fenders. I'll just have to shave a little bit under here, and that problem is gone. It's pretty close back here. Not quite touching. I might trim that up just a little bit. The biggest issue is the coilover. Let's see. It's not quite touching it, but there's also not enough clearance back here on that coilover. And, you know, that's kind of a big deal, but I've already got a solution in mind. So I'm not that worried about it. But you're going to have to wait until next time to find out what that solution is. I haven't pulled out my checklist. I didn't pull it out last time, but here it is. The front 3 links are done. Front coilovers, those are done. Rear coilovers done. Front steering is half done because I still have to do the plumbing for that. Replace the front fenders. That'll probably happen next time, along with clearancing the rear tires and axle and stuff. So we'll get the front fenders done next time, and then we'll keep fabricating body panels as we go here. We got a front skid plate underneath. It's gonna go under the oil pan and back to the transmission there. Not a very big skid plate. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. I shouldn't say that. And I've got to finish moving this battery. It's really dark. Moving all the wiring for the battery over to the other side there. I'm really glad I did that because obviously even now, even more, the battery's not going to work there. And like I said, I kind of knew that was coming, so it was a good idea to move the battery. But yeah, we're getting closer, guys. I mean, this thing, it's starting to look like a vehicle again. After I get the rear clearanced and everything, it's just, I got to burn in these welds and then get this thing on its own feet, get it off the jack stands. So that is coming soon. As always, guys, I appreciate you coming along and spending your time with me. Make sure you go check out my Facebook group. I'm in there all the time sharing photos and talking and stuff, so that's cool. Check out my Instagram, and if you haven't subscribed here on YouTube yet, make sure you do that so I can join you every Monday and Thursday with new content. We'll see you next time.